So we left it off talking about how we could potentially query something called tag, right? So we could write these tags to help compensate for these kinds of lookups. But it could also help compensate for like red, green, blue, all of the different things that might be related to these shirts, right? Or this individual item. So we don't want to actually have it where all of this stuff has to be in the description or it has to be in the title or even is its own field. Instead, what we want to do is make models that will actually handle this. So the model I'm going to be doing is actually separate from the search app. I'm going to make a new component called tags. So we'll come in here and I'll just do Python manage.py start app tags. So inside of the tags app, we're going to come in here and I'm going to just really simply do a class tag and it's models.model. And we're going to do a few things specifically for this. I might want to call this product tag or tag product, but we'll come back to that in just a moment. First thing I'll do is title equals to models.char field. And we have to put a max length for a character field here. And then we need a slug. So models.slug field. And we would need some sort of, well, we have a requirement for that already. So it's a required field. And then from there, we might have, a timestamp like when it was created. Models.datetime field auto now add. And the last thing, maybe active, whether or not this is an active tag. But since we're really using these tags for just for lookups, this isn't actually really that important. So I'll just say default equals to true. Okay. So since I have a slug field, I want to actually do what I did in my models, and that is creating a unique slug generator. So I'm going to go ahead and copy that code there into this tag model. And I have a few imports in there that I'm probably going to have to import. So let's scroll up and just grab these things here. So inside of this model, there we go. So we've got our utilities generator. There it is. And then we've got our slug or our pre-save signal. But of course, I'm going to call this tag pre-save receiver and the sender being tag. Okay, great. And then my str method, it's going to return self.title. Do keep in mind that I have this as title, not like name or something like that. The reason I have a title is because of this unique slug generator, which is right here in the products app. So that means in our models, we have to import that from products. So this is our tag, right? It's just another model, much like our product model. But unfortunately, I actually don't have any tagged items in here. Like they're not actually associated. This model and this model are not associated. Like they don't have any sort of relationship to each other. So there is actually a way to create a relationship to them. And that is I could actually add this tag model onto the product itself. That is, I can make it much like this, or I could add it onto the tag itself. Right? So there's different ways on how you may go about doing this. What I'm going to do is I'm going to actually add it into the tag itself. So we're going to do from products.models import product. Now what I'm about to do is called a foreign key. We're going to go into much more detail for foreign keys later, but for now I'm just going to add it in as product. Okay? So inside of here, I'm going to call this products. I'm going to have it plural, and we'll do models.many to many field, and we're going to call it product, and I'll just say blank equals to true. Again, we are going to go over this stuff in more detail later, so don't worry too much now if you don't fully understand this just yet. That's completely fine. And then from here, I have to actually update how these tags are going to be rendered out. So I'm going to bring it into the admin. And we'll do from.models import tag, and then admin.site.register and our tag model. And then in our settings, we want to add this into our installed apps. So tags, and again, I called it plural tags. Of course, the search component, I called it search because you don't need to call it searches, but I called it search instead. Okay, so now that we've got this, I got product pre-save receiver function. This right here should be changed. So I saw this little error here, and it tells me what line it is and all that, so you can actually trace back to where it was. I just knew exactly what it was because I did a copy and paste. All right, so let's go ahead and do python manage.py, make migrations, and then python manage.py migrate. Okay, so now that we've got that, I'm going to go ahead and jump into the admin into any given tag. So I'm going to go into tags here, and I'm going to create a new tag. Let's say, for instance, t-shirt. The slug, I'm going to actually write it out as t-shirt. Actually, I'll write it t-shirt 1. Right? Yeah. And then we'll put t-shirt on there, or the both of the t-shirts on there, and we'll do save and add another. And then again, t-shirt, t-shirt, and then finally t-shirt, t-shirt. Okay. Save and add another, and I'll write red, and then I'll put this on all these. Obviously, the picture of the hat is actually black, so I'll write black too. And there we go. Okay, so we've got several different tags here now that have our shirts in there. So how do I actually do that lookup? I mentioned that we can do it inside of my model right up here. Okay, so before I actually jump into this, I want to show you how to do a reverse lookup, right? That is, how do I get the product based off of the tag and vice versa? How do I get the product based off of, or how do I get the tag based off of the product and the product based off of the tag? So we actually have to do some stuff in the shell to get at least a little bit better understanding of how some of these foreign keys work before we really dive in deep on those foreign keys. So stay with us.